the building has a long history dating back to the 1800s when it was a hat box factory, and then it's been a bakery, a printer, and then more recently a storage facility, and till now it's a lighting studio. When we were first sort of introduced to this project and walking about, I remember sort of being overwhelmed by the, I guess, patchwork of buildings. So there was a lot of things to contend with when first approaching this project, but then we're able to sort of uncover the needs of the project and the purpose of the design and give us this.
I'm James Zagari. I'm one of the directors here at Lighting.
And I'm Chris from Christopher Elliot Design, the lead designer on this project.
So the building is in Richmond and it sits on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Richmond is a design hub for architects and interior designers. So for us to be located in Richmond, they're really in the hub of the place that they need to be. With this showroom, obviously I think it's important to sort of have a bit of excitement at the entrance space. You want to sort of walk into a space and feel like, there's a reason to be there, that you're seeing something that sort of excites you about exploring more of the showroom. So as you sort of walk through the space, you're seeing new things unfold, and it's almost like there's a new part of the showroom at every corner.
Because we deal with so many different types of clients, so we've got interior architecture, architects, lighting designers, engineers. Depends on who you are when you come to the space. We might take you on a different journey, and it might be different every single time.
The tunnel of light. Originally, actually, it was a space that was almost the worst space in the building. It was the space that we thought, how are we going to address this? It was just a really awkward space. So I had the idea to sort of put in this inner box skin to the space and create us a tunnel. And that gave us the ability to be able to sort of create a really technical space for your lighting products.
And it really allows us to accentuate and show people a bit of education as well on how light works and how you don't always need a lot of light. We can actually have a bit of fun with it as well.
Another avenue that you can take from First Light Space is you can turn into what we call the XAL gallery. So that is a space that is, again, also a long, narrow space.
And that's where you get this beautiful shot of the rest of the building and the rest of the showroom.
The space opens up and you're into what we call the Est bar. So that's really the hub of the showroom, which, much like the other showroom design that we've done for Est Lighting, they're very hospitable. Whenever you come in, they always offer you a coffee or a drink, and it's really about sort of connecting and then helping you work through your designs with your lighting products. When we were sort of walking through the space before we'd done the design, it was naturally the space that you gravitate towards. There's a sense of nostalgia about that space, but there's something that you can't quite put your finger on, that, there's an emotive response to the space that you naturally want to be there. So it was very clear to us that needed to be the Est bar. And then upstairs from there is the workstations and the lights out space.
It's really hard with all of the brands we have, maybe 10 or 12 brands that we carry, that we wanted to make sure that they had their moments and that we could showcase, XAL and DGA and Weaver Ducray, Marset, all these brands all have their own personalities. So part of the brief was we need all these spaces to talk to each other, but also to have their own identities.
Having previously worked with Est Lighting on their first Melbourne showroom, we were definitely given a head start with understanding the huge catalogue and library of their product, but it still doesn't equip you for, the huge variety of product that you guys can supply. But we work very closely with James and his team to sort of work or sort of decide each product, how best to sort of use it within the design. It is a respectful and fun relationship. I think we both understand strengths. Obviously, you know, there's like all working relationships, you really do have to sometimes, you know, do a bit of push and pull with the designer, with the project to get the best out of it. As much as that, you also sometimes need to push back on the client and sort of convince them that what you are suggesting, although they can't see the full vision, really has a lot of merit.
You know, the final result is pretty much exactly what we had intended, and it's gone above and beyond what I thought it would be.